And it's Christchurch that is playing host tonight as the New Zealand Breakers take on the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix to kick off round 6 of the Hungry Jacks NBL. Of course, the Breakers would have enjoyed a week back in their own beds after their travel schedule, although they are decimated by injury tonight. Well, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix come to town finally after getting a win and trying to build some momentum into the season. As I say, a big hello and welcome to my co-caller tonight, Damon Lowry. We take a look at the Mitsubishi Motors ladder, but the story coming into this game are the injuries for both sides, but in particular the New Zealand Breakers.
Yeah, Joey, thanks, man. Good to be here. I've been waiting for round 6 to kick off. And yeah, New Zealand Breakers are decimated with injuries, and guess who cares, Joey?
Who?
Nobody. We don't care. Everybody else is going to have to collectively step up in the absence of certain guys. We're hearing some things about a couple guys not playing. We're not sure. That's my man right there. We miss you already, darling. Hopefully he can suit up. But the Phoenix on the other end, they got to try to consolidate after a good win last week against the Throwdown.
Yeah, we believe Max Darling is suited up but won't play. Mojave King out with a quad. Mitch McCarron out with a knee. And, of course, Derek Walton Jr. out for the Southeast Melbourne. Well, they took care of business at home last week, Damon, in a good win against Perth. They went 1-1 on their return from the States, but they have to take care of business tonight because look at their travel schedule coming up in their next 7 games.
Well, it's not like they live in another country.
7 games.
Well, it's not like they live in another country or anything. Now, look, yeah, after that Adelaide home game, yeah, they're going to be on the road for quite a bit. So, look, that's how it works. You got to try to win 80 to 90% of your home games. Try to go 50-50 on the road, and you should be in the mix.
And that game on against Sydney is on Sunday, so the quick turnaround. Well, he came into the league with a big reputation as a shooter and a scorer. Matt Mooney, he took a while to get going, but boy, he was hot last week.
Yeah, Matt Mooney, Wakanda, Illinois. I'm actually from Wakanda. But yeah, Matt got super hot last game, dropping 7 triples. He showed everything that we thought he could do. He's shooting threes going left. He's shooting them going to his right. Catch and shoot, spot up. The guy is a knockdown shooter, even though I hate to use that phrase. One dribble, side step, whack. The guy can fill it up, and they're going to need more out of him tonight.
It feels that way with the backup guards unavailable tonight. You feel a lot is going to rest on the shoulders of Mooney and, of course, as always, Parker Jackson, Cartwright, but even Darling, who was 0 for 11 for 3-pointers going into last week, knocked down a few, so they are going to rely on some of their guards. Well, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, we spoke about them getting their first win in the Throwdown last week. Sam McKinnon took the reins, although we know what's happened this week. They've appointed their new coach, Josh King, but he will be sitting back this weekend while Sam McKinnon does the next 2 games.
Yeah, Josh King is going to come in, and Southeast Melbourne Phoenix fans are hoping he's more of a Lion King than the Night King. But Sam McKinnon got off to a great start in his coaching debut, going 1-0. And he's going to coach these next 2 games as if nothing is changed. And the team's going to buy in, hopefully, to what Sam has been preaching. And let's see how they go.
It is an interesting situation. Well, Nathan Sobey, there is no Derek Walton. A bit more is going to rest on him. It wasn't Nathan Sobey of old in the Throwdown, but he showed some positive signs.
He did, and you know what? We might not see the Nathan Sobey of old. When he was in Brisbane last season, he had to do a lot of the heavy lifting. This year, he's got a much more balanced staff, I should say, around him, a better cast of players, if you will. So, yeah, all you got to do is just be efficient. Play good, hard-nosed defense. Still pick his spots. I like to see him shoot the ball a little bit better. But Sobey doesn't have to be superstar Sobey for the Phoenix to be successful.
And he'll retain his spot in the starting lineup, as he did last week under Sam McKinnon. Of course, Joe Wieskamp will come off the bench while we're also part of the telecast tonight. Courtside, we have New Zealand legend Tom Abercrombie. Welcome, Tom.
Yeah, kia ora koutou, good evening everybody. Pleasure to be joining you from Christchurch here tonight, the first of 3 home games for the Breakers down at Wolfbrook Arena in Christchurch for this season. Obviously the Breakers coming off that impressive win against the Wildcats. There are a couple of men down, but the 2 constants, Matt Mooney and Parker Jackson Cartwright, will be trying to pick up right where they left off last week. And for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, I can't wait to see how they back up that victory against the United, against the Breakers here tonight.
Hey, Tom, man, good to have you back, Tom. What is your water telling you, Tom? What's your gut saying about how the Phoenix come back after that win, knowing they got a new coach going to step in a couple of games?
Yeah, well, these guys are no strangers to adversity so far this season. They've been through plenty of changes, so I think it's water off a duck's back at this stage for them. It looks like they've really come together under coach Sam McKinnon. There's going to be more changes coming up, but they're not worried about that. They're worried about the job that they have in front of them here tonight, and that's trying to take down the Breakers.
Thank you, Tom. We'll cross to you throughout the evening. We take a look at the starting 5s, and Damon for New Zealand, the 17-year-old. They've just thrown him in there into the starting lineup.
Yeah, hola, mi amigo. Benvenido de nuevo. That's what I was trying to say, Joe. It means welcome back. Yeah, the 17-year-old jumps into the starting lineup. He had a nice little game over there against the NBA dudes, and now he sat out played the first 2 rounds, I should say, and hasn't played since. So we'll see how he slots in.
And the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix starting lineup. It's Owen Foxwell that gets the starting gig ahead of Angus Glover, who was terrific in the absence of Derek Walton last week. He will come off the bench. But the other familiar name's Geordie Hunter, who's been terrific. Of course, we know all about Matt Hurt and Nathan Sobey. Of course, this is the first of a doubleheader, so don't go anywhere tonight to follow a massive game. First v 4th, Illawarra, Melbourne United. But before we get to that one, we kick this one off from Christchurch. Looking forward to it. Wolfbrook Arena have a great record here in New Zealand. We'll get to that in a moment. Southeast Melbourne, not so much. They've been here 3 times for 3 pretty big defeats. But they'll be looking to build some momentum, as we said after that 9-point win in the throwdown against Melbourne United. Can they continue on their good form? New coach Josh King will be tuning in. We don't believe he's in the venue. We'll be keeping an eye out, but he's certainly in Melbourne. There will be a very, very keen viewer tonight as Lewis, the first turnover, it's Lopez, who couldn't quite keep it in, although it will be a shot clock violation anyway.
Good active hands by Kareem. Good to see him taking some pride on the defensive end. I'm really interested, Joe, in that matchup, Jonah Bolden and Matt Hurt. Matt Hurt, as we know, is a professional scorer, with Jonah's going 6'10", 6'11". So we'll see if Jonah can slow him down.
How about Lopez? Still just 17 years of age, won't turn 18 until April. The next star, 2-year project, Menenga, who's been in great form so far this season. Can't connect on his first attempt. Foxwell, who played his 50th NBL game last week. His 4th season. That's a good look. Good ball movement. And this will be great for Sobey's confidence, although he leaves that well short.
That was good ball movement, extra pass. Sobey's only shooting 26% from deep this season. Not the start he would like, but he still got to take those open shots.
Here is young Lopez, who will go to the stripe. Of course, you mentioned he hasn't played since round 2, Damon. He injured his forearm, so played 10 minutes in each of the opening 2 games. And now he's going to look to have a role and a big impact in the starting lineup.
I do know how to say forearm in Spanish, but I lost a little bit of confidence from that last intro, so I might just leave that alone for a while. Do you remember being 17, Joey?
I can't, actually.
As he gets his first one to go. He's playing with no fear, this kid. And I say kid with all due respect.
He's a big kid for 17. And New Zealand have been 10th in the league for free throw percentage, so nice for him to get the ball rolling. First points of the night. Here's Matt Hurt, who now leads the league in scoring, averaging over 21 points a game. Here he is. It's to go at Bolden. A bit strong on it, and there is Geordie Hunter. He's able to get them some second chance points, which has been an issue for the Phoenix this season. It's been terrific, Geordie Hunter. Sobey finds Foxwell. Again, they give up the first look for a better option, and that is the best option in this Phoenix lineup.
I guess if Jonah had his chance to do it over again, you wouldn't close out as hard on Foxwell and pay more attention to Matt Hurt. Matt Hurt's getting 21 points a game and 7 boards and doing almost anything he wants. As Jonah gets himself to the stripe, it looks like. It's good to see already early, Joy, that the Phoenix, the way they moving the ball. There's no, like Derek Walton not being there, Derek Walton obviously has the ball a lot, but just because he gets a lot of assists, a lot of the times because he's the last one with the ball. So now the Phoenix, I think they're playing a little bit more well-rounded, and the assists can get shared around.
How do you think that'll work? Because there was some talk during the week that a lot of Matt Hurt's points had come off Derek Walton, but as you said, is that just more because he's got the ball in his hand more often? Yeah,
Derek's one of those kind of ball-dominant guards, but he's a pass-first guard, though. So Foxwell can do similar things, maybe not to the level of Derek, but enough.
Interesting to see what Nathan Sobey can do with a bit more ball in hand, you would expect, without Walton. Here is Foxwell again, who gives it up. And Geordie Hunter with the air ball. And again, they get an opportunity for some second chance points. Here's the other next star, Malik Lewis, who couldn't finish. Now we'll get down to the court side. Tom Abercrombie, you've got more of an update on the injuries to the New Zealand Breakers?
Yeah, the injuries have really run through the Breakers this week. We've got, obviously, Damon, your favourite player, Max Darling, he's out with a groin injury. Dane Pinot, he's still dealing with a bit of a calf issue. Mitch McCarron is dealing with a knee injury. I believe he got an MRI done today, so he'll know a little bit more about that one going forward. And Mojave King had a corky that's just gone south a little bit, and he's not feeling too good. So a few things for them to deal with, but they spoke about it last week, the no excuses mentality. We're certainly not making any for them, and it's going to be some opportunities for some young guns to get a good run tonight.
Thank you, Tom. That's spot on. Coach Cox spoke about that in the post-match presser last week, Damon, that the character of this group, after the travel, they didn't complain. They couldn't get the job done against Brisbane, but they bounced back, and they're not going to make any excuses. You wouldn't think this team.
No.
As Sobey puts the head down, drops the shoulder, and couldn't finish. But Lewis will get another offensive rebound, and we'll go to the free throw line.
Good attack on the rim by Sobey. Missed one that he normally would make, but his teammate there, young Malik, there to clean it up. And just on that excuses thing, Joey, let me just get this off my chest right now. Anybody that makes any kind of excuse, even a good reason, Joey, is an excuse, that is just completely frowned upon and will be met with severe ridicule. So just get on with it.
You don't seem like an excuse type of guy. They won't certainly make any. As Lewis knocks down one of two. Here is Jackson Cartwright, yet to take a field goal. Probably his worst game from the field last week against Perth. He was struggling with his shot, but we know how important he is. And Lewis has had some impact early. And now he wants to drop the shoulder and get to work, but Menenga forces him back. And now Foxwell. He'll have the job of guarding Jackson Cartwright. He can't finish either.
And Owen Foxwell has a scorer's mentality, but I like to see Jordy Hunter get a touch. He was real good last week. If you give Jordy enough shot opportunities, he'll get you 17 points.
1 of 6 from the field so far for South East Melbourne as Foxwell picks up his first.
And if Phoenix would know, with no backup point guard in Mitch McCarron, that PJC is going to have to play 35 minimum minutes. I would personally play him the whole game myself, but it might be a tactic to just kind of wear him down, as we see now Malik Lewis is picking him up.
Interesting to see who the Breakers turn to off the bench to run the point. If Jackson Cartwright does have a spell, as Menenga gets a couple of opportunities, but good hustle again from the Phoenix. A scratchy start to this one for both sides. Of course, I mentioned earlier the record that New Zealand Breakers have here is Christchurch's. This time, Sobey finishes at Wolfbrook Arena. They're 6-1 in their 7 games here in New Zealand, average winning margin of 13 points. And they've played South East Melbourne here 3 times for 3 pretty big wins. There's Jackson Cartwright with a little mid-range. Tough finish.
Mid-range maestro, good pull-up, Jay. Sobey is liking this matchup. You get Sobey in transition like that, whether it's a quick transition or a slow transition in Lopez, that might not be the best matchup for him in the open court as we look at the Amy replay. And this guy is single-handedly making sure the mid-range jump shot does not die a miserable death, Joey.
Yeah, he's a master at it, isn't he? And Nathan Sobey, as we said, career lows in field goal percentage and 3-point percentage. And he's 12.5 points per game. Second lowest since his second season, but he started well here. He's able to get to the free throw line. He has 3 points.
And Nathan knows this kind of critique of this